Wonderland! I went into this game with no expectations really. I only found out about it once it released. Well, once it released and it got delayed by like a week. But when I saw the trailers that came out with it, I sort of assumed it'd play like Poppy Playtime with the puzzles and story and stuff. Safe to say I didn't expect an extraction type of game. But first off, general thoughts. Overall, this game is fine. I think the map design fits its bizarre aesthetic that it's going for. Some of the monsters do look a little out of place in the map, which isn't great. It feels like every monster was modeled by a different person. It's also not very scary. Though trying to get anything to look scary here would be a difficult task. The scariest thing in this game is actually the rabbit that hides behind the fake doors. Mainly because you're not expecting it. The puzzles are fine. The way they're implemented is a way to extend the time is pretty cool. You don't have to do them if you're fast enough at grabbing enough lumens. None of the puzzles are hard. Some are worth doing since they're incredibly easy, and others you just kind of avoid because frankly, it's not worth the time. The lumens are creatures you need to, have to be able to beat the quota and reach the next level. If you don't feed enough to the worm fast enough, then Wonder will come out, disabling the exit and forcing you to either run into his hat or die. Once you beat the extraction type of levels, you move on to a special level. There's 4 of these special levels. The first 2 are chases, which are pretty easy once you understand the layout, and they've been made significantly easier since many people got stuck on them. The mole is really easy to outspeed by sliding away from him. Same goes for the worm. If you're struggling at the beginning of the chase, I recommend bringing some of the speed powder. It really helps when you're going through those BS doors, and once you get past those, it becomes a cakewalk. The parkour gimmick was heavily left behind. They were prominent in the chases in the very beginning, but I guess too many people were struggling with them, so they added bridges to the wall jump sections, making that feature pretty useless. Seriously, there isn't a section where the wall jump is needed anymore. The 3rd special level was the most unique, but definitely outstays its welcome after playing it 5 times over. It's a roller coaster ride where you have to shoot your color balloons to avoid death, and these angels too, I guess. You can focus way more on the balloons when they appear. Those birds do barely any damage. It's just not worth focusing them down. Sadly, there's no way to speed up the track, so if you fell past this point, then I hope you're ready to sit through this entire ride again. The final challenge is fighting Wonder and Wonder. You want to avoid their star attacks while dealing damage to them. Generally, at this point, you should have gained enough tickets to purchase the minigun, which you should use to mow them down. I haven't played this boss on any other difficulty than easy, so I don't really know if there's a health increase or a damage increase, but if they don't, then gunning them down is the fastest and easiest way to get rid of them. They also don't do a lot of damage, but you should probably have bandages just in case. Once you beat those 2, you can finally escape, and nope, you thought the game would be that easy?
Did you really think you were going to leave?
Time for more parkour, which is incredibly easy once again. This first course would be a breeze if it wasn't for the swinging hammers of doom and despair. These things' hitbox are way out of whack. Like, bro, what hit me there?
How impressive.
Oh boy, these things took too many of my lives, and my teammates too. Once you get past those things though, it's just a bit more parkour. Oh look, Wonder and Wonder here. Another easy section, and now you've reached the little house. This game really likes throwing curveballs at the end, and you're probably walking into this house expecting another chase. And you'd be right. Right up until you enter the house when, oh shoot, now we're playing Little Nightmares. Now you gotta quickly get your bearings while being chased down by Wonder. And if you're in a team, you gotta make sure to stick together, because if one person goes on ahead, they will proc the traps early, which will sentence anyone behind to an anvil to the head. Once you pass this chase, you will fall into a pinball, which is probably the easiest section in this final stretch. Simply just flip all the levers without getting annihilated by the ball, and you should be good. And now that you've made it to the final parkour section, all you have to do is keep moving forward since Wander is throwing baseballs at you. If you think about standing still or even backtracking, boom, you're dead. Good luck, try again. This final parkour section isn't too bad, up until the end at least, where the swinging hammers of unfairness appear. These things really need like a hitbox rework, I swear. Once you pass them, it's over. You've escaped. Yeah, this game isn't the greatest game I've played on Roblox. It's surprisingly shallow for a game that's been in 2 years development. Wonder is a pretty cool character, but you don't really see much of him unless you fail to make quota in time. Or make it to the end. The extraction section of the game isn't really that interesting either. There's too many monsters to spawn in at once. You will see a lot of them, and so often to the point you can very easily get desensitized to them. They also pretty much turn into a joke once you get the Wonder Mask and some bandages. Pretty much anytime I was about to run into one, I just put on the mask for a second and they immediately lost aggro. I figured this out when I went to do some solo runs because I forgot to record the worm footage. The worm chase. And I got to see how OP it was. When I was playing with my group, we didn't buy items until we reached the final boss, I don't know why. This game isn't hard. Well, not until those stupid hammers come into play. I do like the game giving you a choice when it comes to the puzzles. You don't have to beat them if you're quick enough. The first 2 chases got nerfed a bit too much in my opinion. The mall should be a little faster. Or at least make it so he teleports once everyone makes it to the end. And remove the bridge that ignores the wall jump sections in Worm's Chase. If not that, then just get rid of wall jumping altogether. It isn't used in any other place in the game other than there. The parkour is heavily underutilized. You'd never use it in the extraction section of the game. They could make something cool with it, but they just didn't. The exit coaster should be a semi-safe place. Don't let the monsters spawn in there, like that annoying balloon kid. The monsters should only be able to enter if they chase a player in there. However, they should be avoiding that general area. That also goes for spawn, and the front of the shop. Let me buy my speed powder in peace. Please regulate the monster spawns. Why are there so many monsters in easy mode? Seriously, like, I swear in one of my rounds, there were 2 of every known monster roaming the map. And, at least for me, don't make it so you restart to the very beginning of your fellow section. Now, this suggestion does sound a bit out there, but hear me out, at least for easy mode. Set it to the level after a special stage, you know, the chases and the coaster, as a checkpoint. So if the entire squad gets wiped, or I guess if you're going solo, you don't have to restart the game from the beginning. And you can actually have your friends in the level if they die early on, if you make it to the next checkpoint. Really, I don't have much else to say. I didn't really get into this game with super big expectations. I thought it was gonna be like a way better Rainbow Friends. Little did I know I accidentally opened up Lisa Company. The reason why I'm not as disappointed as everybody else is in this game is probably because I wasn't following it for 2 years. And also, I do like extraction games. Like, you should see how many hours I have in Lisa Company. I've said all my thoughts. See you hopefully not next month.